What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotic, bringing you our Week 1 battle for the NCP. We are facing off against Grandmaster D.REY in a rematch for the BBR Finals. Unfortunately for me, I kind of made a bit of an oopsie there, a bit of a fuck up. I put his San Diego Snugglers logo and not his LA Guerrilla Tactics logo, but that'll be on the other screen that you guys will see, so I apologize for that nonetheless. But let's go ahead and jump into this. My opponent's team is very scary. It's really, really scary. The good news is I believe we definitely have a way to get the win, a path to victory. So I'm going to kind of go over that, as well as what I kind of think are going to be the really good mons to bring this matchup. I do want to mention, you guys, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. If you have not already, make sure to hit subscribe if you enjoy competitive Pokemon content. We are out here trying to give you the best quality draft league stuff we could possibly find on this internet, so go ahead and subscribe if you have not already. Biggest threats on my opponent's team: Darmanitan, Thundurus, and the Scizor. I definitely find those are the three biggest ones. They're very, very scary. The Metagross and the Swampert are really scary defensively, but offensively, those are definitely the big three. Haxorus is scary, don't get me wrong. I do have answers for it though. I have a Scizor, I have a Koko, I have a Rhyperior, I have a potentially Habanberry plus multi-scale Dragonite in the back, which means I should be able to take a hit from either ability of Haxorus. Regardless, let's go ahead and jump into it. Starting off with our Tapu Koko. Now, Koko is really solid in this matchup. I was originally debating a different spread, which I'm not going to kind of go into because it could be really good for a rematch, but this Pokemon is very, very solid in this matchup. With U-Turn, we can get really solid momentum against everything. We get around the Swampert pretty effectively. I could, in theory, run Volt Switch on this, but the reason I'm not is because just in case he brings in the Swampert and it ends up being a Rindo Berry set, then it's going to take the Grass Knot. Granted, with my investment in defense and HP, we'll take the Earthquake from the Swampert if it's got no investment. I just don't want to risk that. I want to make sure I can get the U-Turn off if he decides to switch into the Swampert, get into a more favorable matchup, and go from there. That's why I'm going with this Koko. With the Esper Belt, we hit the Swampert for fantastic damage, OHKOing it if it's got a very little HP investment, or not very little, but not max HP investment. And we also OHKO the Haxorus with Dazzling Gleam from full if it's got no investment, and that's before rocks. Very nice. We also hit Zarude, the Crobat, for fantastic damage, and we OHKO the Wartortle with Thunderbolt as well. So all in all, this is a really, really solid break for us. We have speed on the set for the Scizor. We take a Jolly Darmanitan's Scarf Ice Crash, and we also take a non-boosted Thundurus' Sludge Wave while we're at full HP. And we also take, I believe it's a Haxorus', a non-boosted Haxorus' Earthquake. So it's very valuable to have, just very important calcs all around. Obviously, I could have gone with a different route and have a bit more offense, but I felt like having just a little bit less offense was going to be more worth it to make sure I can take one of those hits and then firing off a devastating blow against my opponent's team, because Koko, believe it or not, is not my win con this week. It is not the most valuable member of my team this week. I have, in my eyes, 4 other Pokemon that are more valuable this week than Koko is. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Our next one is going to be our Scizor here. This is one of them. Scizor is really, really good. It could potentially be our win con this week. With Swords Dance and with Roost, we can take any hit from the Swampert and set up all over it. We will then be able to Bullet Punch my opponent's entire team. With the Metal Coat there and our investment in attack, we actually OHKO the Darmanitan from full, and it's like not even really close. I think it's like 109 minimum. So that's really, really solid. And again, I believe it's going to be Scarf. So because of that, I feel like it's definitely in my favor to go with the Metal Coat just in case. It'll also allow me to do a lot more damage to the Metagross if they decides to come in. Thundurus is not going to be appreciating any of our hits either. We kind of set up all over the Ormatisse. If rocks are up, the Scizor will get KO'd by a +2 Bullet Punch. It'll get KO'd by a +4 Bullet Punch without rocks, which is very important to note as well. I know Crobat can run Heat Wave, but if we set up on something else and then fire our Bullet Punches, it should do enough damage to make it that he can't beat us 1v1, because we should be able to break it easily. It's very, very helpful here. I'm running a Brave Nature on the set because I want to be able to underspeed the Swampert. The reason for that is because if he decides to go for Flip Turn, and I decide to go for U-Turn, he will go for Flip Turn, it'll go first, unless he's running a Relaxed Nature. He will go into something else that he wants to take the hit from Scizor, and then I will fire off a U-Turn, and I will get into what I want to get into to make the matchup more appropriate. That is what I want to do. That is going to make this game a lot easier for me, just getting into the proper matchups. If he's running a Relaxed Nature, fine. I'm not running 0 IVs. I felt like it's okay to run Relaxed Nature, and if I outspeed him, great. Okay, that works. If I don't outspeed him, fine. So be it. We move on to the next time around. I just set up on it. That's all I would do. Again, this set is very bulky though. 236 HP, 108 defense is very, very bulky. And at the same time, that bulk is important. That bulk is there for a Banded, add-in Beware's Close Combat. We can take that hit and then U-turn out into something. And again, that something is going to be tough because Beware is so scary. The good news is, out of everything I'm bringing, I believe the only thing that can actually outspeed the Beware, or that can't outspeed the Beware, is going to be this and my Rhyperior. So I should be good to go on that. We also have our Drifloon down later on, which is immune to its stab, so I feel pretty confident with that as well. Our next mon is going to be our Dragonite. Now, Dragonite is really cool. It was our last pick, I believe, or our second to last pick. No, it was our last pick. No, it was one of our last picks. It was like our bottom 3 or bottom 4. This Pokemon with a band is phenomenal this week. It really is fantastic. This is another one of our important win cons, because if I actually chip my opponent's team down, Look at Banded Extreme Speed. It does so much work to everything. We 2-KO my opponent's entire roster outside of like a defensive Swampert, the Metagross, defensive Aromatisse, and defensive Wartortle. And again, if all 4 of those come, I believe that's a mistake. If 3 of those 4 come, I believe it's a mistake. I think he kind of has to go with the first 4 plus Haxorus, Salazzle, Crobat are going to be the major 3. It's going to be 2 of those 3, I believe. Maybe Zarude. We'll see. But again, maybe Zarude. But yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a mistake to go down another route. So I think it's a really solid set. We can just fire off Banded Extreme Speeds, Adamant Extreme Speeds that are banded again, insanely strong. And this set takes a Banded Adamant Ice Punch from the Metagross if we have our multiscale, and we also have speed for an Adamant Metagross as well. So it's important. Again, I don't think he'll be Jolly. I think he'll be Adamant, and that'll allow me to be a lot more offensive. Again, the reason I'm okay with doing that is because majority of the time I'm going to be clicking Banded E-Speed. That's why. That's the biggest reason. Majority of the time I'm clicking Banded E-Speed. That's why I'm okay with being Adamant. Mon number 4 is going to be our Keldeo here. Keldeo, while it is really, really good this game, it's a very offensive Pokemon. It's very strong. Its stabs are phenomenal here. Look at his water resist. Look at his fighting resist. They don't really kind of match up well. It's really going to be one or the other, but not both. If I fire off Surfs against something and I do tons of damage, that's a benefit for me. I can Aura Sphere something like the Beware, something like the Darmanitan, or something like the Hackers or Zarude. But the big thing is I can Flip Turn and I can click Endeavor. If I'm weakened and my opponent's team just like gets picked off by Bullet Punch or E-Speed, then I can fire off a Scarf Endeavor if I'm again at like 20% on something like the Metagross, and then I can beat it 1v1 with my 2 priority Pokemon in front. This Pokemon is speed for the Zarude. Again, it's meant to really be a pivot, really annoy my opponent's team, and then pick something off at the very end of the game if necessary. That's the big thing with Keldeo. It's really solid here. It annoys the shit out of my opponent's team. It does about 50% to Metagross if it's not super bulky, so I feel very confident in this Pokemon. I'm just hoping it can put in the work for us, be very, very valuable for us, and it outspeeds a lot of my opponent's team because of the Scarf on it. It outspeeds everything. It outspeeds Scarf Darmanitan, outspeeds non-Scarfed Crobat or Salazzle or Thundurus, but it's important for us to have this on our team because of that speed tier. Next up is going to be our Rhyperior. Rhyperior is important in this game because it is going to be our lead. We have rocks on this set as a way to make sure we can chip down things like the Darmanitan, like the Thundurus, the Crobat, Salazzle, all of which are hit super effectively by rock, so we can make sure we can get off 25% on them, unless they're going to be something like Heavy Duty Boots, which I definitely expect the Crobat to come to be that. Potentially even Thundurus. I think of all the mocks I had, all of them were basically going to be that or Life Orb, I think it was. But Rock Blast is there because it hits my opponent's team for phenomenal damage. If it resists Rock Blast, it doesn't resist Earthquake. That's just a fact. I have Mega Horn there specifically for the Zarude. It's going to do a bit more to the Zarude than Avalanche would do because it's well, 4 times effective, not 2 times effective. The Rindoberry plus Solid Rock is important, and the reason for that is because if I was running Assault Vest, then I actually would have to run super like max special defense to be able to take a hit from the Thundurus, going for Grass Knot, and I actually wouldn't take it if it was a Life Orb hit. So I need to make sure that I'm able to take a Life Orb Thundurus' Grass Knot to be safe. Again, I expect it to be Boots if it does come, but if it does come and it is Life Orb, we take the timid Life Orb Thundurus' Grass Knot after Stealth Rocks. Very important for us to make sure we can guarantee that hit, thanks to Solid Rock and the Rindoberry. We also take a Banded Darm's Icicle Crash, and I expect him to lead with Darmanitan, maybe with a Thundurus, and I can kind of play from there, but essentially if he leads with Darmanitan and clicks U-Turn or Icicle Crash or whatever, then I can find out right away, okay, this man is Banded, this man is Scarfed. It's one or the other, it's not going to be both, it's not going to be anything else. It's one of those 2 items. Those are like the only items it could be unless it's running like the Zen mode Darmanitan, so I feel very confident in that. We need to get rocks up. We need to weaken my opponent's team. If he doesn't go for Scald specifically on the Rhyperior, we can take any water attack from the Swampert, so I feel very confident in this against the Swampert as well to weaken that thing to the point where E-Speed and Bullet Punch take it down. Next up, our final mon is going to be our Drifblim, making its season debut in the first week. Weird as hell, right? Our final pick, or one of our second last pick, making a season debut this early? Well, let's be honest, its matchup is pretty decent here. Why? As a lure. And you might think that's weird, but my opponent has a Thundurus, a Darmanitan, and a Zarude, all which hit this thing for super effective damage from its stabs. But, thankfully, I can just run a Yachi Berry on the set. Again, this is meant to be a lure for the Darmanitan specifically because it's the hardest thing for me to switch in on. I didn't want to bring Arcanine this week, I just felt it wasn't good enough. Let's say it's Drifblim versus Darmanitan. Then Drifblim just says, okay, I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp here. If he is Banded, then we take the hit if there are no rocks. If he is Scarf, we take the hit with rocks. We burn that thing. Our Yachi Berry pops, meaning we then outspeed it because we have enough speed on the set for a Scarf Thundurus while we're unburdened up. I then burn this thing, I go for Strength Sap. I gain back all of my HP, and at that point, I get put into a position where he is burnt, and he's at -1. And I get to fire off more powerful hexes. Essentially, I can neuter the Darmanitan, making it almost just a negligible threat. And that's what I want to do, because Darmanitan is very scary. It was the first overall pick in this league. Just can't have that happening. Just can't have it be destroying my team. That is what Driftman is here for. That is our team for this week's battle. Again, guys, if you have not already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll be back in a second with the battle. All right, everyone, we are back. Looking at the team, first of all, I want to say thanks to Liv, because D.REY and I were sitting trying to get this LAN connected for an hour, and it finally fucking worked. That is so frustrating, but we got it done. Looking at D.REY's team, he brings the Aromatisse, the Swampert, the Haxorus, the Scizor, the Darmanitan, and the Metagross. No Thundurus. Very surprising, but it makes Balloon so much better, so I'm going to definitely take advantage of that. My lead here is still going to be Igneous, the Rhyperior. Reason for that is because I want to get my rocks. At this point, he has no Defogger. He could easily lead off with the Swampert here, which is fair, but I also think Darmanitan is a very free lead for him. And if he leads off with Swampert, I still get my rocks just fine. I then go into Deadpool, probably just U-turn around after that. I should be fine. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Feel very confident in that. Alright, alright, alright. We have a bunch of nicknames here. We have Balloon, the Drifloon. We have Igneous, the Rhyperior, Deadpool, the Scizor, Piff, the Magic Dragon, not Puff the Magic Dragon. Piff the Magic Dragon is a comedian from the UK, I believe, and he's fucking hilarious. So, yeah. We have World Star, the Tapu Koko from our WPL days, and then we have Aramis, the Keldeo after the Three Musketeers. But good luck, have fun to D.REY. Let's have a great game. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh shit! I know I'm gonna make some like drastic misstep, but he has the dude. Give me that crown. That crown is mine. Indominus Rex. Interesting. Okay, very very interesting. That's fine with me. I can just fire off a. Is he Mold Breaker? He's Mold Breaker. Okay, I can just fire off an Earthquake here. I don't necessarily think that rocks are a necessity for me to have against this team. Let me just completely enter everything on show now so I have it. Aromatisse. He had Swampert. Come on now, Swampert. He had Haxorus. What else? Scizor and Metagross. Okay. I'm just gonna fire off the Earthquake here. We'll be able to do a good chunk of damage to him. If he goes for close combat, that's what's going to do the most to us, of course, because it is 120 base power. He'll be losing, but he switches out. He has no ground immunity. What is he going into? Schmeat. Okay, this Pert is taking some good damage here. I'll definitely take advantage of that. I could use more damage on this. The more, the better. So yeah, we Earthquake. That's solid. That's solid damage there. And he's leftovers. Okay. Let's get up some rocks. Limits and switches for the Scizor there. Weakening Darmanitan. Stealth Rock, yeah, so we both just exchange rocks here. This Pokemon is really not all that important for me. The reason I'm saying that is because there's no Thundurus. Scizor is going to be a pain in the ass, but I have, at this point I have my rocks, and I have 2 forms of priority in Extreme Speed and in Bullet Punch. So I feel very confident. Let's fire off another Earthquake here. We'll see what happens. What is he going to do here? I imagine he flip turns. Yeah, he flip turns. Dude, I'll take it. That is a lot of damage. Oh my god. That is a lot of damage. He did over 100 points of health. Rhyperior against... Come on now. Swampert. Defensive. Level 50, flip turn. He's got some investment. He's got a bit of investment. Not too much, but a bit. Because I think he did 102 points of health there, which would be like a max roll for... He goes into Haxorus. Yeah, I'll take it, man. I'll take it. But we're going to fire off an Earthquake, do a good chunk of damage to this. And we do... Oh, that is good damage. I'll take it. I will take it. Okay, so he did 102. Which means it would be a max roll for 36 attack Swampert. Okay, Haxorus. Depending on his set. Close combat. Close combat is a roll. Earthquake will not kill me. I feel confident just attacking here again. I don't have any reason not to, so I'm just going to attack. I don't need this Pokemon right now. It's nice to have, I just don't need it. Yeah, because rocks aren't leaving any my side of the field at all. I see close combats me. Does he get the roll? He does. Is he banded? Is he life orb? We'll find out some information right now. Okay. The fact that he had nothing there makes me think he's potentially Scarf or banded. Regardless, at this point in time, because he's at -2, because he's at we're -1, excuse me. If I go Keldeo, I'm just gonna go Keldeo. Or do I go Deadpool here? Scizor against close combat. If he's banned, that's gonna hurt a lot. I can't afford that. How much does +2 do to Salazzle? It's not a guarantee after rocks. Yeah, let's go into Aramis here. So he draws first blood. Let's get rid of Rhyperior. Again, he's at -2 here, or -1. Let's go Haxorus. I do think he's Scarf. Come on now. -1. Keldeo. Flip him to 12 to 15. That's close there. But again, I think he's Scarf. If he stays in, he's Scarf, for sure. So I'm going to flip turn, and I'm going to go into Drifloon, if anything. Okay, he's Scarfed. He's Scarfed. 100% he's Scarfed. And he's in range now of rocks, so I just go into Drifloon here. So unfortunately, I'm going to be taking this hit here, which sucks. But it's okay. Taking the rocks, at least. He's not. Okay. Okay. I'm curious about that. But it's okay. I'll fire off a Strength Sap. He's going to Dragon Claw me. We should take this. As we do, we Strength Sap and get back all of our HP. So he's back to neutral now. And we're back to full. Okay. I'm going to Strength Sap again, because if he switches out, he's going to die to rocks, so I have no reason to not to, I guess. He can try and, like, reduce some of my stats, that's fine. But yeah, we're not in the greatest position, but we're not in a terrible position. It's not the end of the world. It does sound like he did end up getting a roll with the close combat there, which sucks. Because we could have gotten rid of that and still had our Rhyperior in the back, but again, just wasn't going to deal with that. Okay, he switches out. He goes into, I'm assuming, the Aromatisse, right? Yeah. Oh, no, he goes into the Salazzle instead. Okay. That's fine with me. He does take hazards. I can then fire off a Hex here, which should do a solid chunk to it. So where's Drifblim against a Salazzle? He is not Black Sludge. Hex will do 35 to 52. Let's go for the Hex. As he toxics me. Yeah, that's fine. It sucks, but it's fine. We're going to put this thing in a range of, ideally, we're going to definitely now, +2 Bullet Punch. Potentially even just neutral Bullet Punch. Oh, he is Black Sludge. What am I saying? I missed that last time. Let's go for another Hex here. We're just going to try and gain knowledge, figure out what this guy wants to do. The thing that kind of sucks about this is we're never going to be able to guarantee take a hit from the Darmanitan with our Yachi Berry. That does suck. He subs. Okay, we should be able to break this sub. I imagine Disable comes out here. If he does Disable here, what would be my best play? What would I go into? I'd like to go Keldeo, honestly. So I think I'm going to do that. I don't need the HP on it necessarily, so I'm going to go Keldeo. And again, I don't think he subs here. But let's go into Keldeo. Does he Disable? He protects me. Okay, fine with me. That's cool. How much does Flip Turn do to you? Keldeo against Scizor. Flip Turn does half. Let's Flip Turn. He'll be able to protect here, sure, whatever. He'll gain back a bit more HP. Again, I'm cool with that. We just fire off the Flip Turn again. Like, you're gonna die to this hit. Unless he's like max HP, max defense. Even max HP, it's like a roll. Because the minimum roll for me is 50%, that's on no investment. If he's max HP, 41 to 49, which is about that, so. But he switches out here, that's fine. So he knows we're getting like a momentum here. Okay, in comes the Swampert. We know that he's leftovers. Do I just go into Scizor here and try setting up? Not yet, no. I think I go into Coco here. I go Coco here. And there's the obvious grass now that's coming out. The obvious grass knot. We get our terrain up. I'm very nervous about this game. Like, I'm exceedingly nervous about this. It's just week 1. It's a new team. So we gotta be careful here. It's a new team. My player is going to go for a grass knot, for sure. He's probably switching out. If he does, fine. If he doesn't, okay. I just got to go for it. Because he could also go hard into the something like the what is it called? Trying to think of the name of that thing. You could go hard into, what is it called, for crying out loud? The Haxorus, and sack it off. So we have to be ready for that. Based on how long it's taking, I think he's just going to wait his time and like just make a switch. As he does not, he stays in. We grass knot, and we get the KO on the Swampert. We do. First kill for Coco on the season. Where is Swampert now? The only thing with that is it's going to make it a little bit tougher for Scizor. Oops, wrong one. What did I get rid of? I got rid of the right one. Yeah, Swampert. Okay. It's going to make it tougher. The good news is we are slowly but surely getting to the point where E-Speed and Bullet Punch just wins the game. If we can weaken down the Metagross, we can win the game. As in comes Darm. That's fine. I go hard into Balloon. I don't need Balloon right now. It's nice to have. It is. Just don't need it right now. And if by some miracle we survive the Icicle Crash, by some miracle, again, then I just Strength Sap up. But in is going to come our Drifloon against the, what is this thing called? Darmanitan. Again, he would not have brought this in if it wasn't Scarf. I'm so positive this thing is going to be Scarf. So Darmanitan, Galarian. He U-turns out. Okay, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. Because he's going to take another round of rocks on entry. I'm okay with that. He could go Romatisse here. If Romatisse sets up like nasty plots and trick rooms, then I'm in trouble. But I think only then is when I'm in trouble. I don't think he has enough to make a sub here. If he does, he does, but he can just easily go for... Again, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Let's just, let's Hex here. As he flamethrowers me. Do we survive it? We might. We don't. Okay. That's okay. Again, I'm very free switching to Aramis here. So based on what he has left, he's got the Aromatisse at full HP. Aromatisse is going to eat this hit, no matter what. Like, it's an Aromatisse. It's very, very bulky. So let's see. Yeah, Aromatisse chews it. He's just max defense. He chews it. Let's flip turn here. He protects. Okay, that's fine. We're okay with that. Do you sack off your Haxorus here? Because I think that's a play. I generally think sack off the Haxorus is a play. So let's go for a flip turn. The good news is we outspeed everything, which I'm happy with. So what are you going to do here? He may not know that we're Scarfed. I'm pretty sure it's... No, he knows we're Scarfed. Actually, he doesn't know we're Scarfed. He's probably like 100% sure about that, but we just flipped turn here, we got the KO on it. Fantastic. Dope. That's good. That's really good for us. Where is Salazzle? There you are. Okay. If I go Scizor here, and he goes Metagross, I have to U-turn out. I should get rid of Drifloon as well. Drifloon. Yeah, if I go Scizor, that stops Darmanitan from coming in. I'm going to go into Scizor here, because Metagross doesn't get Fire Punch. It does not. So if he goes into Scizor, or into Metagross, I just U-turn out. I then go into something like Pith the Magic Dragon, and I believe I go to fire off Iron Head or something. Actually, I would go into Keldeo here, I believe. That's what I think I would do. But let's fire off the U-turn. We're not going to outspeed it. We want to outspeed it, which is fine. That's what I want. We're going to take the extra damage, which sucks, but it's going to be okay for us in the long run. At this point, honestly, I can just go into Coco and click Thunderbolt. He Earthquakes us. 154 down to 97. That's nothing. That's 57 points of health. So Metagross, level 50. With Scizor. Yeah, he's definitely not banned. He's not adamant, he's jolly. He's jolly. 100%, he has to be jolly. If he goes Coco and he's Scarf, I think I'd die. So I'm going to Keldeo. Specifically because of that interaction, because I believe that if he has Scarf, I die. Let's be honest. Let's fire off the Surf here. Again, we want to weaken this thing to the point where we can win with Bullet Punch. That is the plan. Weaken this so we can win with Bullet Punch. That's the new plan. It has to be. Because I don't think Extreme Speed is going to be strong enough against this team. Yeah, and if we were like Boots on Dragonite, we would have been in a fantastic position. Because then, if he needs like Trick Room on his Aromatisse, and we Iron Head it, and then Extreme Speed it, we'd live the hit because of our multi-scale. Gives us damage. He gives us damage. That did nothing. This is Salt Vest. Dope, 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 dope. That's good damage. I'll take it. I'll go for another Surf here. Again, if he switches out, he switches out. That's fine with me. I feel like that thing's a Salt Vest. From the amount of damage we did there, it's gotta be. It's gotta be a Salt Vest. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I imagine he switches out here into the Aromatisse. Just gotta weaken this thing to the point that we can win with Scizor. That's the plan. I'm like harking on it because it's important and I'm nervous. And it's late as hell and I'm tired. We surf it again. I would be okay here if he KO'd me. He explosions. Okay, so we are going to lose both of our Mons. Keldeo and Metagross. Okay. That's fine, because again, he has no switch-ins now. Let's go Deadpool. Yeah. Without hitting Power Fire, I don't think he has a way out with Romatisse, because he needs the BBR Berry. I don't think the thing gets counter. Doesn't get counter. And he goes into this thing anyways. And after 2 rounds of rocks, even if he's BBR Berry on this thing, we'll be able to KO it. Let's see. Does he switch out? Does he sack something off? What's the plan? Is Darm going to go 0-1 in its first week? This has been a good game. Like, it's been very, like, straightforward, but BBR Berry is not what he has in the Darmanitan. So down it goes. That's awesome. If I can find the Darmanitan, that would be fantastic, and I do. So Haxorus dies to rocks. All he has is the Romatisse. This is a GG. It's looking like it's going to be a 3-0. Because Scizor should have enough HP to the point that we can KO the Romatisse. And even if we don't, with this first Bullet Punch, he has to KO me right away. I mean, I can then go into my Dragonite because there's no Trick Room up, I'll outspeed, and I can get the KO with Iron Head. Yeah. Indominus Rex dies to rocks. Dies to rocks. It dies to rocks. So down goes the Haxorus as well. Way to go. Very balanced week to start off. I love to see it. We love to see it. 3-0 win to start, it's looking like. Versace. Honestly, if he had gone into this thing instead at any point in time, I would have been very nervous because it would have been able to take a hit from my Coco, would have been able to take a hit, 2 of them from my Keldeo. But yeah, we're going to have to take this, Bullet Punch it up. He'd probably be BBR Berry, as he is not. And we are Metal Plates, or Metal Coat, and he lives a hit. Very bulky. Moonblast comes out. Are we going to take this? We probably should. We don't have much. We don't have any special defense investment. We got a ton of HP. It's resisted. Scizor's bulky as hell. That's a GG. Hell of a game, D.REY. Honestly, love playing D.REY every single time we get the chance to. Always going to get a great game. We definitely had the matchup this time around. I'm very surprised he did not bring the Thundurus. I'm going to ask him about that after the fact. If you guys want to go and check out his side of the battle, you can definitely see why he didn't bring the Thundurus, because I thought that was coming for sure. Honestly, the Metagross, the Metagross, the Thundurus, the Darmanitan, Salazzle were all like, I'm expecting these to come 100%, and they didn't, which was surprising to me. Regardless, we pick up the win here. Oh yeah, Swampert as well. So I was confident that 5 Mons were coming, and the last one would be like Haxorus, Aromatisse, Beware, Crobat, kind of, to an extent. But yeah, we ended up picking up the win here. So GG to D.REY. Hell of a game. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on the video. It is 1 in the morning for me. It is 1:03 a.m. I am a very tired Matt right now. So please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. This is what I do for you guys, alright? I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all next time.